I'd like to talk a bit about symmetry. And symmetry, for example, when it's applied, let's take the front part of this top. If I left click on this pattern piece, you see that the other pattern piece is highlighted. It's symmetric. It's the same. Anything I do to this, it's going to reflect here. So that's simple enough. For example, if I click on edit pattern and I highlight this point, the other point is automatically highlighted because there is symmetry. If I just drag it up, then the other one goes up too. So whatever I do here, it's going to reflect here. Here we can just simulate. Okay, I'll take that off. Symmetry is important because with the old software, very old software, we'd have to, for example, maybe create one pattern and create or even one piece and then try to create the exact same piece on the other side. But now it's much easier with the symmetry. For example, if I decided to do something to change the length of this armhole here, this part of the pattern, it automatically reflects here. So what I'm saying is, when you're working, be sure to, if there are parts that need to be changed and they have to be symmetric, okay? They have to be the same length, equal lengths. Keep the symmetry on. Now, for example, you can break symmetry for creative designs. If I need to do something else with the front of this bodice, for example, if I need to color block it in a certain way, I need to remove the symmetry because maybe I don't want it color blocked equally on one side and the other. Maybe I need it on different sides, or maybe I need to make this pattern asymmetric. So if I try to make this pattern asymmetric, for example, if I try to, let's say, I'm going to modify it slightly. I'm going to take the edit sewing tool, sorry, highlight it, click on it. I'm just going to remove the sewing relationships here, delete the sewing relationship here, and I'm going to delete the sewing relationship here, okay? So I'm going to open it at the sides because to demonstrate what I mean. Because if you're new at this, I think, so you can understand it better. So here, I've opened here, and let's say this front part, I want just this part here is symmetric, okay? I'm doing some styling and I want it a little shorter, okay? So I go to the edit pattern tool and I went to edit it and I click on this point and I'm like, oh, I want to make it shorter, but oh no, both of them short. No, I don't want both of them short. I just want one side shorter because I really want that type of styling and that type of look. So I'm going to now undo this by pressing Control Z and it undoes that previous operation. Okay. So I'm like, how do I do this? What you do is this. You click on the Select Move tool, click on the pattern piece, right click, and if in your dialog box, remove linked editing. If you remove linked editing, then you click on that. You highlight this. This is not highlighted. Highlight this. No. So they're not connected. Okay? They're only connected by this sewing relationship here. And here's what I can do. I could even merge them. So I'm going to click on the edit pattern tool, click on this point, right click, delete it. Okay? You see that's only this point was deleted, not this one. Right click, delete this point. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, because they're not connected, I have to do things more manually. So I want to merge these two pattern pieces together. So I'm going to left click on this, right click, that is on this. And no, I'm just going to click on it. Let's go over again. Click on it. It's highlighted. Hold down shift. Click on the other one that's highlighted, because when you do this, when you hold shift, it's like a glue. It just have, when you click on the other one, it sticks to the other one, okay? Or you add something else, okay? So it's like added, okay? So you click on what the first command, you click on the first, rather, if it's a line or whatever, hold on shift, that's important, and then you click for the other thing, and then we're gonna right click, we take our finger off shift, right click, and here in the dialog box there is merge. We merge it. So we've merged the pattern piece. So now it's all I have it just one piece, and not, there is no sewing in the middle. Now what I can do with this piece is I can like oh, okay, as we said previously, just make this shorter, and here I have achieved it. It's shorter. It's the styling I wanted, okay, on this side and not this side, okay? I can color block it, for example. I take the pen tool and I can just click here, click to this point, and go to the edit pattern tool, okay? Right click, cut and sew. I can add another color. I bring up the default fabric and just color it with a color. Here's what, but we have to highlight that first. Okay, where is it? Okay, the color is here, and we can color it. Oh, we can go greenish, like, okay, like this. Here, I can color block. Let's simulate so it looks better here. Okay. And so I can work on this, just to say that I can work on this pattern the way I want to, because it's not symmetric, okay? So I can do like different things. So this is the way to remove linked editing when there is a symmetry. Now, let's say that I want to just chop off a piece of this color here. And I can take my pen tool, and here I can just go here and try to estimate, and yeah, it's pretty intuitive, okay? So it was 2.04, 2.04, and that's good. But let's pretend that we have to know the precise measurements, okay? So what we do is this. We go to the add a point tool. Okay, wait. Okay, the computer has been slow. Oops, not coming. Okay, here it is. Okay. Add a point tool. And what we do is we're going to add a point. But while we're adding this point, we right click because we want the dialog box to come up. So we're going to put a point here, right click, and this dialog box comes up. Okay, so I'm going to just show you the basics of this. Now, if you noticed, it's split into two lines. So these points are added, and of course they split the lines. And line 1 is 2.04. Okay, that's equal. And line 2 is 2.04. Okay, let's change the value of line 1. So we'll put it like 1.98. Okay, so here, if you look carefully, the yellow that's highlighted and the blue, line 1 is 1.98, and line 2 refers to this line here. It's 2.11. And that's really very important to know because you're going to be adding, splitting, dividing the fabric pieces. So you have to cut them equally. And this is a really important tool that you could use. Okay. So this is 1.98, and if you click, is like, I want this to be 1.98. So this value here, keep in mind. So you click OK. Okay. And you're like, I want to do it on the other side, the same thing that I did on this side. So always with the add point tool highlighted, you go to this side, right click, and there again, you want here the value to be 1.98. Okay, so you put it in 1.98 and you press OK. Now you're free to cut this line, and it's gonna be cut off, and it's just the piece is gonna be, it's all precise and equal. If we want to double check the measurements, what you do, you go click on the edit pattern tool, and here we double check. Here we click here, it's 1.98, and we click here again, it's 1.98. So this is a way, and then you just go ahead with your pen tool. You click here, you click on this point, and there you're free to cut. You could do right click, you cut it. Okay, you see the piece that separates. Then look in the 3D window. I'm gonna use my select tool, click on this, right click, and just delete it. And it's gone. And you've made it, you've cut off a piece. And so this is a way to be very precise with measuring. Okay, slowly with this add point, a split line tool, I'm going to show you how to do these measurements. Okay, this point here at the end and this point here at the end, we're going to talk about moving distance now. And moving distances, it's very important because if I move one part of the pattern piece a certain distance, for example, select the edit pattern tool, and let's take this point. If I move it over like this, I would like to move this part over equally, just like this. And I can't just really haphazardly do it, because then when you look at the color, you're like, no, this just doesn't look right. Bad measurements. Okay, Control Z. Let's go back to the way it was. So we're talking about moving distance, and it's just moving the piece, the pattern piece, whether it be a point that you're moving to increase or decrease, or it can even be a line. But let's go one step at a time, and let's just take the points so that you practice with points. Okay? And in another video, I'll show you the lines because it's really similar. Okay, so here's what you do. What you do is you left click on the point, and that's highlighted already. You hold down shift, and holding down shift is very important because while you're moving the line, you want to be precise where you move the lines. You see all these guidelines here? Okay, I'm going to do it again. You left click, okay? Hold down shift. Start moving this point here. So I'm moving it along this horizontal guideline, okay? Now, I want to know by how much I've moved it, and I'm going to right click. When I right click, a dialog box comes up. And in this dialog box, it states here the distance moved, it's 1.63 centimeters. Okay? If that's the amount I would want, okay, and that I'll just click OK. 1.63. Remember this. And so it's sort of you have to get used to doing it because it's maybe a little tricky in the beginning because you have to. I'll do it again. Control Z. You left click on the point here, okay? Hold down shift. Start moving the point to where you want to move it. You're going horizontally or you're going to follow another guideline here. Okay. Right click, the dialog box comes up and it tells you by how much it's moved, 1.11. If you decide to move it a little further on, let's say by 2, you click this in the dialog box and you see you moved it by 2 centimeters. If you decide to move it by 3, okay? So it's the nice thing is that it's previewed over here. So you sort of have an idea of how much, maybe, okay, 2, 3 is that, maybe I'll do it like that, okay? And you click OK when you're satisfied. So this is one part. Now I want to do the same thing on this side. Okay, so doing the same thing on this side, what we do always highlight that point, hold down shift, start moving, and right click to get up the dialog box, to bring it up rather. The distance, we want 3, and here's 3. Okay. So everything was moved the way it's supposed to be moved. It was supposed to be moved. And here we have, well, whatever this is coming out to be. Okay, it's like 2 points. But this is just for demonstration purposes. And so this is the way you do this. It's very important. Let's do Control Z, and we go back to the original form. Okay? Okay, here it is. Now, if, for example, I'm like, okay, I don't really feel like doing it that way. It's too difficult to do it that way. I want to do it a simpler way. This can be a simpler way. What you can do is this. You go to the Add Point tool, and what you want to do is divide this and this in half. So you want to get the midpoint of this line and the midpoint of this line. Right click. Okay, there are 2 ways to do it. Either you do it this way But this is much simpler, because if you do it this way, you needed to know, for example, the total length. Let's just go out of it for a second. If you do it the first way, you need to go to the Edit Pattern tool, click on this line, and it's 30.78. So what you do is 30.78, you divide that by 2, and you get 15.39. So 15.39, what we do is then we go back to the Add Point tool, and we're like, okay, I want 15.39 on both sides. Right click, the dialog box comes up, and we want 15.39. Okay, so 15.39. Oh, didn't come out. Okay, come on. 15.39. So here we have 15.39 here and here. So we've divided it equally, no problem. And we do it down here too, the same thing. We click on OK, we go here, we do, and we have it divided, no problem whatsoever. Let's get out of here and let's go again. Right click, the dialog box comes up. Here you have uniform split. So uniform split, you're going to split it into two segments of the same, two equal segments, okay? The same measurements. So all I need to do is highlight my uniform split, and here it's automatically done. No problems whatsoever. Number of segments, 2, 1, 2, okay? 1.2 segments. And I click OK, and it's done. Here I go again. I can right click, uniform split, splits it automatically for me, and I'm done. So then what do? We take our pen tool, we draw a line like this. Okay, it's highlighted. And we go to our Edit Pattern tool, and we cut. We just cut and sew, not just cut and sew, because of course you want it to be attached. So now with this that's cut and sewn, remember it's just cut and sewn, it was just divided into two separate pieces. So if I click on this, this is not highlighted, there's no symmetry, okay, no symmetry whatsoever. What you do is this, you want to create a symmetry. So creating symmetry, you can't always symmetrize patterns, especially if there's one and something's different in the other. You really can't always do it, okay? So it's not going to always work for everything. Keep this in mind. This is simple. You click on this one, hold on Shift, click on the other one, okay, because we're selecting both. If you don't feel like doing it that way, holding Shift and you forget, you just select both like that. Just draw that rectangular box and it's selected. Right click, and when the dialog box comes up, it asks you, well, do you want to apply symmetry with seam? That means symmetry with sewing. Do you want to apply symmetry? This already has its sewing relationship, so we're just gonna apply symmetry. And when we apply the symmetry, already you see, you highlight one, the other one's highlighted in orange. So all of this to say, then if you need to modify anything, for example, let's go back on Edit Pattern, you want to modify this point, you just click on it and you modify the way you want to, because it's going to be done on the other side too. So whatever you want to do, it's fine. We simulate. Okay. You simulate and then, okay, let's see. It's very slow, this computer today. Okay. You simulate and there you see what was done on one side was done on the other. So there are different ways of achieving the same thing. And what you're going to be trying to do is to really cut down your work a bit. Or maybe you do those operations that are that you're more comfortable with until maybe you're more of an expert. So thank you for watching this video and see you in the next video. Bye now.